Fear Her has been consistently rated the worst episode of the New Who era in various viewers' polls. It's not hard to see why. It's a low-budget story with low ambition, no real monsters, and the main guest actor is a child who hasn't acted before or since. It's not offensively bad like the worst episodes of the classic series, just rather underwhelming. The TARDIS lands in London for the 2012 Olympics. At the time, this was 6 years in the future, now it's 14 years in the past. But the suburban setting means that the year is mostly irrelevant, apart from the Olympics happening just off screen. Children are going missing, but nobody bothers to get the police involved. Instead, they all gang up and accuse the only black person around, which is depressingly realistic. But it's not a person of colour's fault. Well, it is, just not that one. The culprit is Chloe Webber, played by Abisola Agbaje. In the pre-credit sequence, she draws a boy, who then disappears, and his drawing becomes animated, which is a neat effect. Unfortunately, they never do it again, and the drawings are all static for the rest of the episode, presumably down to cost. As they investigate, the Doctor and Rose come across a disappearing cat. Then there's a scribble monster, which might be scary if you're a child, but maybe not even then. Eventually they realise it's centred around Chloe and her mum Trish, who's played by Nina Sasanya. She's a good actress who's been in lots of TV shows over the years. This is not one of her best roles, as Trish is just a generic mum. The Doctor mind melds with Chloe in her bedroom, thankfully with witnesses. Turns out she is possessed by an alien spore, who just wants to get back to its family. She communicates this by talking in a very loud whisper, which I guess is meant to sound otherworldly, but it just sounds like her mum's told her off for talking too loud. It might have been more effective if they'd dubbed her with an adult voice for that scene, although it might have sounded too much like that scene in The Exorcist. When the Doctor is turned into a drawing, Rose has to save the day. She has been getting more chances to show her competence this season, so this doesn't feel like it comes out of nowhere, and she manages to dig up the alien seed and fling it into the Olympic torch to save the day. In the original, the Olympics commentary was done by Hugh Edwards, who has since been convicted for making indecent images of children, presumably not with crayons. The iPlayer version has replaced him with a female commentator, which is understandable, but I do miss his delivery of "Not you too, Bob." There is an added bit of jeopardy at the end, as Chloe's drawing of her abusive father comes to life and threatens to attack them. The idea is definitely scary in theory, but all we see is the original drawing lit by red lights, and then a shadow moving slowly towards them. It's not really enough. It feels like it's lacking a physical presence, and you would need to have a really good imagination to be scared by that. Maybe it hits harder for kids, I don't know. The Doctor comes back in time to carry the Olympic torch to the stadium, which is what was needed to send the alien pod into orbit, although possibly any large fire would have worked as well. There is some guff about the Olympic spirit bringing everyone together and the crowd's love spurring the pod on, but that never seems particularly convincing. And in 2012 they couldn't be bothered to let David Tennant light the real Olympic flame. If they had done that, it would have made the episode a lot more effective in retrospect. This was their last chance to showcase the Doctor and Rose's relationship before the finale rips them apart, and they're as close as ever, which does feel earned after all they've been through this season. There is a moment where the Doctor reveals he was once a father, which Rose obviously has complicated feelings about. Sadly, she doesn't question him further. That could have been an interesting conversation. And it ends by teasing the finale, with the Doctor saying a storm is approaching, which is basically the same ending as the Terminator. But really, there's nothing massively important that happens here, so you just skip the episode and go straight to the finale without missing out. The DVD has a commentary track from writer Matthew Graham and producer Julie Gardner. It's mainly Julie interviewing Matthew, so we learn it was Russell T Davies' initial idea to have scary drawings come to life, how they tried to create a near-future world by having big widescreen TVs on the wall, which just seems perfectly normal nowadays, and how the line about the Doctor being a dad came about. It works really well, and proves that they didn't need 3 people for all the previous commentaries. There is also an episode of Doctor Who Confidential on the vague theme of fear. We see them filming the Olympic torch sequence on a cold night, and also the scene in Chloe's bedroom where the Doctor puts her in a trance. It turns out that was a studio set. I always thought the interior of the house was real. Murray Gold talks about how he uses music to create a scary atmosphere, and we see them trying and failing to get the cat to act. Overall, it's the worst episode of this season by far, 2 out of 10. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy my reviews, you may want to join my Patreon. where you can read my reviews of 7th Doctor novels and 8th Doctor audios, among other things. Next week on this channel, the Series 2 finale, Army of Ghosts and Doomsday. Absolutely epic the first time round, but will it still work 20 years on? Press subscribe to see what I think of it now, and I'll see you next time.